be there in the hospitals, around the hospitals, and at the end of the day, they had no place nearby to rest. तो वॉलेंटियर्स गए, पटेल होटल मोटेल ये तो कहती है ना, तो वहाँ के सारे होटल्स मोटल्स अपने लोगों के थे. वहाँ लोगों की रहने की व्यवस्था की, उनको खाना खिलाया, उनको सारी सेवाएं की जो भी आवश्यक है सब प्रोवाइड. वहाँ पुलिस, वहाँ फायर ब्रिगेड, एवरीबडी हैज़ अ रोल ड्यूरिंग डिजास्टर्स. एंड बियॉन्ड दैट, the one very prominent lesson that we get from the developed countries is that some countries have a structure of trained volunteers, certified volunteers. They alone are allowed. Anybody getting out of the home and saying मैं volunteer कर रहा हूँ, ऐसा नहीं चलता है. तो इस तरह से उन्होंने volunteer करना शुरू किया, and it sent a great message. Now Sewa International is one of the top 10 organizations in USA, NGOs in USA during disasters. So that we could achieve because the whole society, Indian society, responded to that across the country. 48 states served. So it was a force. और एक अपना कल्चरल ये भी सुनाऊंगा, वो लुधियाना का है, बाकी तो बहुत है. लेकिन लुधियाना के गवर्नर से जब मिला, she was in her office with her ministers, state ministers, secretaries, and we donated a check of 51,000. 51,000 वहाँ क्या होता है, मिलियन देते तभी तो इंटरव्यू मिलता है गवर्नर का, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द वॉलंटियरिंग. तो उन्होंने कहा 51,001. द गवर्नर आस्क्ड मी, लेडी गवर्नर आस्क्ड मी, मिस्टर परांडे ये क्या है, ये व्हाट इज दिस 51,001? So I said, that's our tradition. We'll continue to give because it's one and it's endless. She was so impressed. We don't end with zero. तो बचपन का याद आया जब घर में बताया गया था, 10 नहीं देना, 11 देना, 100 नहीं देना, 101 देना, तो याद आ गया था बोल. But she was so impressed. She told her colleagues, look, this we must learn from the Indians. तो ये कल्चरल जो ये होते हैं ना, वो अपने आप में बड़े विशेष होते हैं और उनको यूज़ करना चाहिए. तो इस तरह से हम अपने आप को जग में प्रेजेंट करें, तो ये तो एक अजब दुनिया है. एंड इट वाज ड्यूरिंग द यूक्रेन वॉर. नोबडी कुड एक्सपेक्ट. यूक्रेन, वी हैव अ वेरी स्मॉल यूनिट बट कुड सेव 12,000 people, bring 12,000 people out of the war zone, 4,000 Indian students and 1,200 African students from 5 countries. तो जब वहाँ काम कर रहे थे, निकल रहे थे इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स, तो नाइजीरिया के एम्बेसडर ने फ़ोन किया वन ऑफ द वॉलंटियर्स ओवर देयर, why are you only serving the Indians? There are African students also. So our volunteer said, yes, we will do that. And they did. So 1,200 African students from 5 countries were saved out of the war zone, and they were in far-flung areas where it was showering bullets and bombs both. ऐसे जगह से निकाल कर लाए थे. तो everybody, even today, when I tell people, or even in MEA, I talk to the diplomats and tell them this. So it's impossible. ये हो नहीं सकता, कैसा किया? But किया है. That's because the volunteers were trained and properly worked in a spirited manner, and rest of the society joined in. From say 10-15, we had 315 volunteers on the ground in Ukraine. And the most recent one अभी जो हुआ है टर्की में, उसमें भी volunteers पहुंच नहीं सके because there is a ban on European volunteers going into Turkey. So they were not allowed. We were trying to move. Not even from Bharat. We tried to send 1 or 2 here from here. They were not given the visa. But the material reached, and the Indian society responded to that. Not a large society as such over there, but a small society serving the local community in a big way opening the hotels and the restaurants that we own there, making arrangements for their food. So all these are the things that the diaspora does all over. I think we need to train ourselves, get all our organizations together, the NGOs and the stakeholders that you have talked about, the CSR, the government bodies involved into this, the NGOs, the forces that have been trained, and all of them together, and even individuals that we learned during the corona. I am amazed, this is my last part, I am amazed that we saw in Delhi and other parts of the country that people where it was prevalent, coming from families where family members were suffering, and yet people were volunteering to save others. That's the most wonderful part of the humanity that we experience, that I said in the beginning. Rest, you all, of course, have listened to all the, and you are learning that and mastering the art of, say, mitigation, and all that came much later. I started, relief was the first, and then the journey goes on. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much. Namaste.